This is how to turn your fan into a laser controller, because the fan is what you use on the 3D printer to cool the filament that's like on detailed or really tall prints that need to be cooled down, because it will start getting mushy if it's getting too much heat put on it. Anyways, so instead of switching it, you can use that output for controlling the fan. And as you probably know, you use the M1L6 and M1L7 here to change the on or off of that fan. Well, that fan wire will then control your laser. So the problem is that if your laser has to have 5 volts to control it, 5 to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 volts, and it's coming out at 12, you're going to want to set this down to 5 volts, and it's coming out at 12 volts for the fan. So you have to actually define this here under the configuration, but it's the advanced configuration tab on Marlin. So it's simple to get this awesome thing fixed. You just hit backspace twice. I want to define the max pulse width modulation, because as you know, it's a 255 range. Like, you know, when you set your fan speed manually, you gotta set it all the way up to 255 to turn it on full speed. Anyways, so I'm setting this one at 95 because I just had it at 100 and it gave me 5.2 volts. I'm going for 5 volts, so I'm going down to 95. How about we'll go to 94? We're gonna go to 94 pulse width instead of 255, so that gives us a tiny bit less than like a half. It's more than a half of the voltage, half the number, half the voltage in theory, you know. So what I'm saying, so this output of 94% or 94 out of 255, that is turning out to be 5 volts straight, hopefully. So now here's what you do: you just send it right to the Arduino, you upload this back up into it, and it's going to take about a minute, so I'll pause it. Okay, so it looks like it's totally working and it's about to finish. But while it does that, let me show you what I named my printer, because every time I do this I change the name, kind of like how Android does it. And its name is Fire the Laser. So now that it's ready, I'm going to disconnect it. I'm going to turn it on. Should say that. Fire the laser. Okay, so now I'm going to set the fan all the way up. See, it'll still go to 255, but here's what happens. So it's at 255 now, but look at this. I've got a smart multimeter that hooks up with the app. And well, anyways, here's the output wire that went to the fan, which was obviously 12 volts. I don't gotta tell you that it was 12 volts, because you would obviously believe me that it was 12 volts. But now look at it. I'm doing the probe, and that's it. I'm getting 5 volts. So I will leave it at that and turn this off before it dies on me for the 10th time, literally. And that's basically it. So now that it's ready, I can hook this up. So let's try it out. So now it's at full fan speed. Let me move it down a little bit so that we can get a different voltage. So it's at 255. And it's at 54. No, okay, so may go down to control, temperature, fan speed. We'll go to 160 for half. About 160. The voltage is 3.8 volts. So now we'll go down to 80. We'll go to 100. 2.9 volts. 80 is 2.6. 40 speed 1.86. 30 speed is 1.6. 11 is 1.1 volts. And if we go down to 0, we don't get much voltage, but if we go to 1, we will get that much. 2, 3, 5 speed.